Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. This is episode 59 of Small Businesses Do It Better, and we have a really fun and exciting guest tonight, Nellie Akalp of CorpNet.com. She'll be joining us in just a moment to talk about all sorts of things and setting up a business structure, so stay tuned. Hi everybody. Just combing my hair, don't mind me. Okay, so tonight we have Nellie on. She's the CEO of CorpNet.com, and this is really important, but I'm really excited to talk to her also because there's so many questions a business owner has about setting up a business and forming it and all the whys behind it as well. So we're going to talk with her in just a moment, but first I want to tell you about our sponsors. And tonight our sponsors are Ovaleye TV. Ovaleye.tv hosts and produces live video events for your upcoming promotion, interview, conference, or whatever you want to market. Visit Ovaleye.tv to request a free 30-minute consultation to find out more about going live with your brand. And also we're sponsored tonight by Tiffany Silverberg. Tiffany Silverberg gets you back to work by taking all those pesky marketing and administrative tasks off your desk, whether you need a press release, a blog post written, your marketing materials or website rewritten, or you just need a second pair of eyes. Tiffany can get your words working, and she's at tiffanysilverberg.com. So thanks to our sponsors. And I also want to thank Puck Coach for leaving me such a wonderful review on iTunes. And I say this every week. This looks really dark. It's hard to see. But our iTunes, if you leave us a review, it really does make an impact on our ratings. And with all of your help, we've been number 2 in the marketing and management video podcast section on iTunes. And we're always in the What's Hot section in business. So if you have a moment, please write us a review or leave a rating. You don't have to write anything. You can just click some stars. And that's smallbusinessesdoitbetter.com in iTunes. Have you guys, I wanted to talk about this really quick. It's totally unrelated to anything, but it really made me laugh. So have you guys played Candy Crush Saga on either Facebook or on your iPhone? It's really addicting. And so I want to know what your guilty pleasure game or whatever is for your cell phone that you do, probably that you shouldn't be doing all the time or spending so much time in. So Candy Crush Saga is this game, and I thought it was crazy, and I'm like, why is everybody playing this? Why is this so addictive? And you can see it here. It's kind of like, I won't open it, but anyways, you just move candy around. But Psy's new video was released, his sequel or whatever to Gangnam Style, and they were totally playing this in the video, and I thought that was really funny. So it's kind of whirlwind taking things by storm. So if Psy's playing it, then you know it's a cool game. But anyways, so tell me in the chat what your kind of guilty pleasure is, or if there's a game on your phone that you like to play all the time. And in case you are wondering, I guess I over enunciate my P's and I say pff, pff a lot. So the producer has put on this nice little filter here, this pop filter. So hopefully it'll be for your listening pleasure.
it covers part of your chin there.
And so you can't see my necklace now. Maybe I don't have to bother wearing necklaces anymore. That actually could be a perk. Okay, so anyways, without further ado, I want to get Nellie on. And if you guys have any questions for her and you're watching this live, please ask me in the live chat and I will relay it to her. So everybody say hello to Nellie. Hi, Nellie. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Hi, Carissa. Thank you so much for having me on. It's a pleasure.
It is my pleasure. So first, start out by telling everybody a little about yourself, the why behind your business, and what exactly it is that CorpNet.com does for people.
I am a passionate small business owner, enthusiast, small business expert, and CEO of CorpNet.com. And really what it boils down to is I love small business and helping small business owners new or existing business owners when it comes to starting, protecting, and managing their business.
That sums it up really good. And there's a whole bunch of questions. I want to try to ask them as carefully as I can. But tell us why setting up the correct company structure from the beginning is important, because a lot of people change them, but why is it important to get the right type of business structure for the specific business?
It all comes down to liability protection and also the impact it's going to have on your taxes. And I think this is a really, really nice time to have this conversation because tax day was just yesterday. So a lot of small business owners, one of the mistakes they make is they don't either get their business legal, or if they do, they set it up, but they set it up improperly. And as a result, it could have a significant impact on the amount of taxes you pay as a small business owner.
And it varies per state too, right? Because I know like we're in Washington, we don't have state taxes. So there's all sorts of different things that can come into account, which is why you should have an expert do this, right?
Absolutely. Setting up a business structure, we do it for all business, we do it for all 50 states. Again, my company, CorpNet.com, we offer the most comprehensive, cost-effective services to new and existing business owners in all 50 states to start a business, protect their business, or manage their business. So if somebody wants to come up and incorporate their business, form an LLC, or simply register a business as a sole proprietorship or a partnership, we can handle all the documents needed to get their business set up and properly set up within that state.
Gotcha. And I have a couple of questions from the live chat, so thank you for asking these questions. These are really good questions. ducksinarow.com wants to know what one of the biggest mistakes that you found people make when trying to start their own business.
I would say the first mistake is, people are often really, really excited because they have that business idea and they want to, get it up and running. And the first thing a small business owner does is come up with that name. So one of the top mistakes we see is not checking to make sure the name that you've chosen for the business is available. And a quick way to get around this is to do an online name search with a reputable company such as the one we provide here at CorpNet.com to make sure the name is available before you start using it.
Good tip. And I know when I set up, I did my own I've worked for small businesses for a long time, but when I set up my husband's, I guess, corporation, whatever, I was amazed at the variations of a name. So, I mean, like a space or a co at the end, or just tiny little variations that make it like approve or rejected or using someone else's name. So those tiny little things you wouldn't even think about, but it is very important.
It is very important. And again, you brought up a great issue because, again, small business owners don't know all the different rules and regulations that different state entities and different states have when it comes to incorporating a business or forming an LLC, and what are the state requirements. So coming to somebody such as my company, CorpNet.com, can really alleviate all the time that you would spend on taking care of those tedious tasks, because we can handle it for you. We know all the rules. We know what corporate indicators or endings go with a name by state, so we can definitely save you a ton of money
and time. I think that's the biggest thing. You could probably do this on your own, but it would probably take you 10 or 100 times longer to find all these things, and understand the language is just really difficult on its own by itself.
And I think small business owners, such as myself, we don't have that much time. I often look at how I can clone myself and make two Nellies out of one. So, time is a big factor for every small business owner, and we're here to save you tons of time and money when it comes to starting, protecting, and managing a business.
Good info. And I have another question from Tiffany Silverberg. She wants to know if there's a right time for a sole proprietor or a freelancer to start thinking about an LLC.
There is no perfect time. I think really when you've got the business up and running, and if you've started, making money out of the business, the questions you want to ask yourself are, when an LLC comes into play is, okay, is the business making money? And, is the business a sort of business that is prone to liability, whereby a third party can potentially come and sue you, and then the things you want to think about as a business owner is, do you want to separate the business from your personal assets? Because as a sole proprietor, whether you're doing business under your own name or under a fictitious business name, you're still responsible for everything. So that means, God forbid, worst case scenario, if someone comes after you, they're going to not only go after the business, but they're going to come after all your personal assets as well. And everything is up for grabs. Even if you don't have any assets today, God forbid, if a judgment is entered against you, that judgment can last for up to 22 years, and it can go after any future acquired assets. So the tip here is, if you can, go ahead and get that business legal as soon as possible, because the benefits outweigh the cost, and frankly, you're going to find that more people are going to want to do business with you as a corporation or LLC, and you'll have added credibility to your business.
Good advice. Wow, that was really well put. And 22 years that they can judge for future assets.
They can come after you if somebody is if they can get a judgment against you and win in a lawsuit, that judgment can last for up to 22 years, and it could go after future acquired assets.
Wow, that's incredible. That's a long time, too. That's longer than a lot of businesses are in existence.
It is.
So is there something about the incorporation process that a lot of people may not know of, or that may surprise them?
Yes. And I'm really happy you're asking me this question, because this is, again, something that's really close to my heart. And this is really why I started CorpNet.com. It's that lack of awareness that you do not need a lawyer or a professional to handle these types of filings for you. And there is still this lack of awareness out there. And I myself, I'm a law school graduate. My husband, who's my business partner, Phil Acalp, he is a lawyer admitted to the California bar. And really, one of the reasons why we started CorpNet.com is that back when I started my career with my first company, there weren't many online legal filings such as my company out there to help small business owners with these types of filings. And most people, such as myself, thought that only lawyers and accountants can set up corporations and LLCs and handle these types of filings. So I'm here to really share that with the incorporation process, you really don't need a lawyer or an accountant to handle the legal type, this type of filing for you. You can save that money, pay it to a reputable company such as the one I provide in all 50 states, and save that money that you would have paid to an attorney or accountant to file a corporation or LLC for you, and really use it when you really need a lawyer or accountant, because you can form a corporation or an LLC with a company like mine for as little as $49 plus state filing fees. So at the end of the day, you're paying a couple of $100, in filings total versus the $1,500 to $2,500 that a lawyer would charge you.
Wow, that's a big difference. Now, I have this question in the chat, but it was also my next question by chance about trademarks. So why are trademarks important, and how do you know when you should get a trademark?
Trademarks are important because they protect your name, your brand, your logo from anybody else coming and infringing on it or taking it away from you. So that's really when trademark protection comes into play.
And when do you, I guess I see a lot of, it kind of baffles me because you always see the little TM after something, but I see it a lot after like the tagline under a logo, and it's something like really vague, like that isn't very specific to a company, like the buck stops here, for example. I don't know if that's trademarked, but How can someone get a trademark for something that's not really that specific for their business? Is that something that you advise against, or is it?
Again, trademark protection is to protect, a business owner from having somebody else come and infringe on their name brand, their name, their logo, or their tagline. So when you see a TM sign or an SM sign in the case of a service mark, that's basically a business owner placing those marks next to their name because they're giving notice to the public that they have first rights of use to that name, and they have a pending application with the USPTO, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office, pending registration of their mark. But in a nutshell, if you are using your name in commerce, and if you want to have protection of that name in commerce, and you want to build brand, and you don't want to be diluted by somebody else, and you're using it in not only your state but planning on using it in more than one state, it's always best to think about applying for a trademark, because that will ultimately protect your business, your name brand, your logo, your tagline, or whatever it is that you're trying to protect from somebody else coming and using it and taking it away from you.
And what is the process for obtaining a trademark? I know you have to search for it and then apply for it, but how long does it normally take? And is it normally like a back and forth type of thing, or is it pretty much, one filing and you're done? How does that normally work?
Great question. So typically the process takes anywhere from 9 to 12 months. It is a very long process. The way it starts is that you definitely want to do a knockout search, again, through a reputable online company. Our site provides a free trademark search, and it's right off the homepage. You can come to our site, and whatever it is that you're trying to search to see if that mark is potentially available to trademark, you do what is called a knockout search. And the knockout search searches the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to see if there's any pending or registered marks with the name you're trying to trademark eventually. And if that knockout search comes clear, then we recommend you to do a nationwide search which ranges anywhere from $199 to $399 depending on what you're trying to search. If it's a name without a logo or a tagline, then it's about $200. And that allows you to not only see if there is any pending or registered marks with the USPTO, but it also searches state, county, domain names, yellow pages. It gives you a full, comprehensive, nationwide search. And it also, comes back with variations of the name that you're trying to potentially trademark, and lets you know if there's going to be other marks out there that are going to create a likelihood of confusion. So we recommend you to take that step, and if that comes clear, then the actual filing is a filing that can be done online at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Again, you can do it yourself, or you can come to a reputable online trademark filing service such as my company. We can assist you with that filing for a minimal service fee. And the filing fee with the USPTO, depending on the number of classes that your mark falls under, ranges anywhere from $325 per class to $375 if you do a paper filing. But once you've got it filed, you are assigned an examiner by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, and then typically the filing process takes anywhere, as I mentioned, from 9 to 12 months, depending on the complexity of your mark and depending on whether the trademark examiner likes your descriptions, likes the classes you've picked for the mark. So there's a lot involved. But in answer to your question, it's not a simple process such as incorporating or forming an LLC or just, setting up a DBA. It is a more involved process, and it takes typically anywhere from 9 to 12 months.
Good information. Trisha, you have some excellent questions coming in, ducksinaro.com. I've always wondered these things, and I don't know why I didn't think of them, but I'm glad she's bringing them up. How important are meeting minutes for LLCs or corporations?
Very important. And in fact, we offer them as a free tool on our site. You definitely want to keep your LLC or corporation and your minutes up to date. With an LLC, the single binding document for the LLC is the LLC operating agreement. If you do not have one, please come to our website and we can draft one for you for a minimal service fee. We can also customize it for you. And then with corporate minutes for your both a corporation or an LLC, it's critical that you keep them updated and keep them, as part of your, daily business operations and, in a safe place in your business.
What happens if you don't keep them up to date? Is it only if you get audited, or do you get fined? How does,
No, you will not get fined by not having, corporate minutes, kept, as a record. But, really it comes, as an issue, and it becomes an issue, God forbid, if the LLC is being sued or you're being sued as a member of the LLC, or let's put more of a positive spin to it. If you're trying to, if you have an exit strategy with your business, and for example, if you're going to be involved in a merger or you're going to be acquired, then those are the times when having your corporate records in a row become a huge issue. And trust me, I've been through this. So I've been, involved in where my, business was acquired, my last business, and we didn't have everything in place, and we learned the hard way. And, it just, I shouldn't say we didn't have everything in place. We had it in place, but it wasn't all in one place. And so when we were going through the due diligence process, it just took a longer time. So, I've learned a lesson, and, now I everything, timely, and everything is kept in a safe place.
So Trisha, to answer your question, keep your ducks in a row.
Absolutely.
No pun intended there.
And we offer a free corporate minutes tool on our website. So if you need them, come to our website. It's free.
So keep minutes. So when you grow and you're going to sell your company for millions, then it'll be a smooth transaction.
Exactly.
And another question from Ducks in a Row. Why do people incorporate in states like Delaware and Nevada? What's the big difference?
Okay, so this is a huge misnomer, okay? And it's often, an issue that, there's two schools of thought. Delaware and Nevada, for example, with Delaware, really, really great pro-business. They offer a lot of great corporate, the corporate environment, the corporate statute is really pro-business. With Nevada, there's no state income tax. But the bottom line is that unless your business is going to be physically located in Delaware or Nevada, or unless you have assets in Delaware or Nevada, or you're physically transacting business in Delaware, Nevada, or Wyoming, which is another hot state, the tip here is incorporate in your home state, i.e. the state where you're physically located, where your business is physically located, where you're going to set up the business bank account, and you're going to be transacting business. Because, again, at the end of the day, this is a mistake we see as part of the incorporation process. People set up in Delaware or Nevada or another state which is not their home state, and then once they go to set up the bank account in their home state, the home state is asking them, where is your incorporation paperwork from your home state? So to give you an example, my business is a California company. We are located in California. Our headquarters are in California. We do business in California, but we also do business in all 50 states. We're an online company. However, our physical location is in California. Our business account is set up in California. So had I set up a Delaware or Nevada corporation instead of a California corporation, when I go to set up my bank account in California, California is going to be like, okay, where's your California paperwork? So now if I'm a Delaware or Nevada company and I've set up in Delaware or Nevada and go to open up my bank account in California, California is going to be like, sorry, you're going to have to foreign qualify in California because California law still applies. So what have you done here? The mistake is that you've subjected yourself to 2 states' filing fees, laws, and filing requirements.
Gotcha.
So the tip of the day, incorporate in your home state.
And you can't just go to Delaware or Nevada and have a registered agent in that state. It needs to be where you're doing business.
Well, you can actually, and that's the mistake that happens, Carissa, is that most often small business owners, because we offer registered agent services in all 50 states. So oftentimes business owners come to us and they want to incorporate in Delaware or Nevada because we can act as the agent for service of process in those states. But what happens is one state form the corporation or LLC based on the advice they've gotten. From their mentors or professionals, when they go to set up the business bank account, they call us back and they're like, I can't open up the bank account in California. Or oftentimes what'll happen is they'll go to a competitor of ours, they'll set up as a Nevada or Delaware corporation, and then we end up fixing the mistake because, they go to set up the bank account in their home state, and then their home state can't open up the bank account for them because they need to see the home state documents. So
Gotcha.
What happens is, they'll either need to foreign qualify in the home state or set up in their home state.
And here's another question from Matt Hensler in the chat. What if you have another office in another state? Do you need papers for both states?
It really depends. If you're going to be doing a considerable amount of business in other states other than your home state, and really the second question is, where is the money being transacted and where is the money being deposited into? Okay, so one, there's several options to this. You can either set up in the home state, and if you're going to be doing considerable amount of business in other states, then generally speaking, a business owner would foreign qualify the business in the other states. And we handle a lot of clients who set up the business, for example, in California, but then as they're growing, they're setting up in other states as well because they want to keep all the business entities in the different states separately. So generally the norm is set up in the home state as the main entity and then foreign qualify in the other states that you're trying to conduct business in or planning on conducting business in.
Good info. So there's really no cookie cutter answer. It's very business specific for what your goal is and your future goals.
Exactly. I mean, it really depends on the business owner. It really depends on that business. We do business in all 50 states. However, we're an online company, but who isn't these days, right? I mean, every business has an online storefront. But we just, with our business, and I'd like to use my business as an example because oftentimes it resonates with most small business owners when I use my business as the example. So, we're an online company. We do business in all 50 states, but we're headquartered in California. And even though we do business in all 50 states and equally in all 50 states, everything goes through and is funneled through, and transacted online, and it gets deposited into a California bank account. And that's, we're a California corporation.
Good info. I want to totally change gears here. This is a complete 180. You guys are a lot different than your competitors. One aspect being you can reach somebody and you answer when you're mentioned on social media. So how has your availability helped you up against your competition?
It's all about relationships and reputation, in my opinion.
Nice, short and sweet. So if you have...
It really is. It's all about relationships, engaging with your clientele, and it's about your reputation. For me, I've been in this industry for, oh my God, over 13, 15 years. I started back in 1997 with my original company, and we sold that company back in 2005. I took 3 years off, focus on my family, and then the amount of passion I have for small business and just innovation is it's so much. I'm so passionate about it that I decided to start all over again in 2009 with CorpNet.com. But really, in a nutshell, we're small business, just like the average small business owner. And I'm a mother of four. I have a set of twins, 9-year-old twins. I got a 9-year-old little boy, and I got a 2-year-old baby. They're all waiting for me at home right now. And I juggle, I balance, and I run a small business. My employees are an extension of my family. They are my family. And I think why we stand out and we've really become one of the leaders in the industry in such a short amount of time is because of the relationships that we establish with our clientele, the personal service that we give to our clients. And really, we're not some company with automated, phone messages and emails. People call here during business hours of 7 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. They get a live person. If they want to reach out to me, if they want to talk to me, if they want me to place their order for them, then they get me, because to me, that's the only way I know how to do business is by giving utmost personal customer service.
Definitely. And I have to say, you guys are very responsive on social media. You're always answering everybody. So if you need to talk to Nellie, feel free to contact her via her website or social media. So tell everybody where we can find you at online and if you have anything coming up that you want to share with everyone.
Absolutely. So feel free to reach out to me via email to info@corpnet.com. I will personally see to it that your business, whether it's new or an existing business, is properly set up, and make sure that we get all your paperwork handled professionally and legally for you. You can also reach us toll-free direct at 1-888-752-0363. You can also visit me on Twitter at CorpNetNellie. And for anybody who wants to visit www.corpnet.com, mention Carissa and the Small Business Do It Better show and receive 10% off any deluxe or complete package.
Good info. Did you hear that, everybody? 10% off if you mention the show or myself. And we'll put that in the show notes, too, in case you're listening to this after the fact. So, Nellie, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know you want to get home to your family who's waiting for you. So thank you again for talking with me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me on. And again, thank you for the opportunity. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. The pleasure was mine. That was a lot of information. We're going to have to listen to this over and over again. I want to thank everyone in the live chat for asking these really great questions, because they're people, you come across these things and you forget, and then you have the opportunity to ask someone like this, and you get all your questions answered. So thanks everyone for listening live. If you're listening to this on iTunes or YouTube later on, our shows are live on Tuesdays at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern on smallbusinessesdoitbetter.com. Next week, this is going to be fun. My guest is Jared Kleinert of Synergist. He founded Synergist. He is a 17-year-old tech entrepreneur. He's already worked for several Silicon Valley startups. And this week he was in Forbes. He had, I think, TechCrunch. This guy is insane, and he's launching something really cool the week after next. So he's going to be on right before he launches this. So stay tuned for that. And you can watch all the other episodes at smallbusinessesdoitbetter.com. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week.